Welcome back and thank you for keeping it NTV. You are still watching NTV Weekend Edition and this is Talk of the Nation. Now this week, the Cambridge Assessment International Education Council released its GCSE results for this year. For most parents, this is an equivalent of A-level under the international education system. Officially, the results are known as the International Baccalaureate, also known as IB. Now, the IB is taught in various international schools in Uganda. So how did these schools perform under this curriculum? We find out tonight, and to join us in the conversation is Mr. Tom Boyapuro, the IB coordinator at Kaboja International School. Good evening, sir, and welcome to Talk of the Nation.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me at your studios.
Yes, and for the benefit of this conversation, we will start with understanding what IB, the International Baccalaureate, is and how this relates to the local curriculum.
Okay. Now, IB is International Baccalaureate in full. It is a global leader in international education. It bases its premises on having knowledgeable, caring, respectful students who accept other people's culture and common humanity and accept to make the world a better place to live. That is what IB stands for.
Okay.
Yes.
So how does it relate to the local curriculum here in Uganda?
There are lots of things that are done in IB. For example, that can come in when I start breaking it down to how IB got started. Now, IB got started in 1968. It is over 50 years old. And
in Uganda or?
Not in Uganda, in the West world. In Uganda and Africa, probably it came a little bit later. However, IB has premises of different calibers. It starts with the PYP, which we call the Primary Year Program. And Primary Year Program starts from the age of 3 to age of 12. They do a common theme, which we call transdisciplinary themes, up to year 6. So we have EC, which means early childhood, 1 and 2. Then we have primary year program 1, primary year program 2, primary year program 3, up to primary year program 6. When they reach primary year program 6, they do not do examination.
Is that like P6 in the lay language?
It is like P6. But primary then ends at P6. What they do
for the IB curriculum.
For the IB curriculum, yes. It ends there, and what they do are exhibitions. They showcase what they have learned since they started school by showing that to the whole school. So that is where they are judged, and then they are promoted to secondary school. Now, when they come to secondary school, they start with middle year program. Middle year program, that is primary, secondary 7, grade 7. That is middle year primary 1, middle year secondary 1.
So that is like senior 1.
Senior 1. Then they go to MYP 2, which is middle year program 2, which is year 8. Then they go to middle year program 3, which is year 9, middle year program 4, which is year 10, and middle year program 5, which is year 11. Then they do another examination, which is called E-assessment.
Okay.
Now, that assessment is done on screen. Some subjects are done on screen, but some subjects, the students write what we call portfolio. Then the students also do personal projects, which they do on their own. It is like a mini research. All these are then sent to IBO, the main body that offers the examination. Then they mark it, and they send the certificates to the students. Then they are promoted to diploma program, which is like A-level, senior 5 and 6.
So how different, because the most popular one is the Cambridge.
Yes.
Is the one that we are all familiar with.
Correct.
How different is IB from Cambridge or the American curriculum or any other international curriculums that exist?
Okay. IB has very unique skills that it gives to students. The skills include research skills, students start doing research when they are still very young because it is based on inquiry. So they get to know how to do research very early. And
which is not the case with Cambridge.
Which is not the case with Cambridge. Cambridge is more or less the same as UNEB because it is content-based. But IB is inquiry-based.
Inquiry-based.
Yes. So as the students inquire, they learn more. So they take ownership of their learning. That is where they differ. Now, you will find then that those students now develop skills of communication, presentation, writing skills. After they've done research, they can write, they can present the skill, and when they go to university, they find it very easy to cope with the university curriculum.
Share with us a little bit more about the grading system of this kind of IB examinations.
Okay. Now, let me start with the one which takes them to university, which is the IB Diploma program. Now, the IB Diploma program is a very, very important and respected program because students end up with a diploma after doing the exams. But how do they do it? One, there is internal assessment. The students do internal assessment which carries 20%, and that 20% is left within the school. The school will send it to IBO. Then they will do examination, where they will now look for 80%. However, there are other cores that they do. We'll call them the IB core. We have theory of knowledge, which help them to have critical thinking and analyze whether what a teacher is telling them is really knowledge or not knowledge. Okay? Now that gives them additional points. And then we have extended essay, which is a mini research of 4,000 words, which they write on any subject that they are doing which they like. For example, I remember teaching a student from here in Uganda, in another country, but the mother died when she was being born. Now the girl then decided to write an essay on maternal mortality during birth, and that gave her very good points. Now, how are these points now coming? In IB Diploma program, they do 6 subjects. The 6 subjects, they will take 3 at higher level and 3 at standard level. Now, higher level because that is where they want to go and do their careers. If they do very well in all those subjects, 6 subjects, each subject will be graded by 7.7. So math 7, English 7, French 7. For the 6 subjects, it will give them 42 points. So grading is in point form. Then theory of knowledge and extended essay will add them 3 points. So the maximum that a diploma student can get is 45 points. Then they go to university. Okay,
thank you. So as we wrap this up, we understand next week the Cambridge Assessment International Education is going to be releasing the IGCSE. That is the equivalent of the O-level results.
Yes.
That is for the October and November sitting.
Correct.
In your final remarks, what can you share with us about this as we close?
Now, IGCSE is equivalent to the old non-O-level system or the senior 4. Now, once they get the results, they will now decide, where do I want to go? Do I take the IB or I go to A-levels? So according to how they perceive IB and A-level, they will decide which one to go to. That is what I can say. Okay. But I can say, for now, Kaboja has been very wise, and I thank management of Kaboja for choosing to give parents a choice, whether to choose Cambridge or to choose IB.
So there is also that option of choosing one of the two.
Yes, still, a person who has done IGCSE can easily cope with IB diploma program. And mostly like that, many schools do that. They do IGCSE, then they go to IB diploma. But we have started with PYP. Kaboja is offering PYP and now MYP, middle year program and primary year program. By next academic year, which is August, we will go to DP program, diploma program.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tom Puro, for sharing.
Yes.
And thank you for honoring our invitation and for helping us to understand the International Baccalaureate and all the details. And thank you all for joining us. We now take a break and return with the world of sport.